big part of my practice is working with foreign nationals who have entered the United States on a J1 visa, but who are subject to what's called the 2-year foreign residency requirement. Hello, my name is Yalda Hajavi, and I focus my practice primarily on employment-based immigration and family-based immigration. I help these individuals seek waivers to the 2-year foreign residency requirement so that they don't have to return home to their home countries once their J1 program is over. This is particularly true for physicians or foreign medical graduates that have entered the United States on a J1 visa. But the United States government has recognized the importance of keeping these foreign medical graduates in the United States without forcing them to return home to their countries for 2 years. So each state has come up with its own program. It's called the Conrad 30 program, which serves as a waiver of the 2-year foreign residency requirement. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about the program itself, and on top of that, provide some alternatives given the competitiveness of the program itself. So the Conrad 30 program allows foreign medical graduates to remain in the United States after their J1 program is over if they agree to practice medicine for at least 3 years, so have a contract for 3 years in a medically underserved area, or if they're going to be treating an indigenous population or typically an underserved community. The program also requires for the foreign national to enter into H-1B status once the waiver is approved, and they need to receive a no objection letter from their home country if that applies, meaning that if the country wanting them to return home after the J1 program, they need to submit a statement that says we don't object to them staying in the US. What's unique about the Conrad 30 program is that each state has its own requirements. So in each state, there are 30 slots open for each foreign medical graduate that's seeking this type of waiver. So if you want to do the math here, there's only 30 slots open in a highly populated state like California, and 30 slots open for a less populated state like Rhode Island. Each state also designates specific slots for specialists, and they identify what those specialties are, and they have different openings for when the foreign medical graduate can submit their application. So as you see, there are very specific rules for these types of waivers, and although it may be the last option for some foreign medical graduates, I typically like to explore other avenues to receive the waiver and also other avenues to start working immediately. So I want to go over that a little bit. Let's say the foreign medical graduate is not so concerned about adjusting their status in the US or being able to remain in the US in the long term. The one type of visa that they can change status to that would allow them to start working in the US without receiving the waiver is filing for the O1 visa, which is the Extraordinary Ability Non-Immigrant Visa. This is a great way for foreign medical graduates to start working right away without having to deal with all the hassles of the waiver. If that's not available to the foreign national, depending on the level of expertise and distinguished reputation that they have established in their fields, they should explore, in my opinion, other waivers if they apply to them. So one type of waiver would be to apply for a hardship waiver if they are married to a US citizen spouse or legal permanent resident spouse, or they have a US citizen child or legal permanent resident child. That can be a helpful avenue to get a waiver. Or they can pursue a waiver based on persecution, which is kind of like an asylum application, essentially, what the evidence that goes into it. Let's say the circumstances in their lives changed when they entered the US and now they fear persecution in their home country, or they could have been subject to persecution in their home country to start with. I understand that's not always available to foreign medical graduates, but it is a great option to explore the other types of waivers because of how specific and stringent the requirements for the Conrad 30 program is. And even more. There's only 30 slots open each year, and you can imagine that those slots are competitive and get filled quickly. And there's always good to have options in the back end in case the Conrad 30 program does not work out. So I hope that was a good summary about waiver options for foreign medical graduates specifically, because we need them here. We want them here. There's a shortage of medical experts in the US always. So understanding the waiver requirements for them and other options like switching to an O1 visa is extremely helpful. So thank you so much, and I hope to conduct more videos for you in the future.